Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here. Today we're talking about Yakuza Kiwami because as I released this video, they actually just released Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2 at the beginning of the Yakuza series essentially. They have just come out on the Nintendo Switch 2 and I've been playing it. And as I started playing it, Sega actually reached out and said, hey, do you want to do a sponsored video? Sort of explaining why these games are so fantastic. So of course I had to jump at the chance. I love the entire Yakuza series. So I was super excited specifically about how good these would play on the Nintendo Switch 2 because just earlier this year, at launch actually, they released Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. So I was curious to see how the remake of the first two games, Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2, how good they play on the Switch 2. Obviously, they play fantastic. It's 60 FPS, it's fantastic, it's got great stuff, quirky side quests, but let's talk about this game and sort of explain why it's fantastic and why you're definitely going to want to buy it. So if this looks good to you, you can use the link at the top of the description box. It's in store now. It's on the eShop. Definitely pick it up on Nintendo Switch 2. But let's talk about Kiwami 1. So if you've never played any of the Yakuza series, this is of course the best place to start. Technically, Yakuza Kiwami is the very start. While there is a prequel, Kiwami being a remake of the first game, I still think this is by far the perfect place to start. We're getting Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2 are out now. Kiwami 3, which is a remake of the third game, that's coming out in February on Nintendo Switch 2 and other platforms. I'm definitely getting that day one, of course, but I like Kiwami 1 because it really sets the table as to how perfect of a protagonist the main character is, which is the guy Kiryu Kazuma. Now, this guy is very much a Yakuza with a heart of gold. Even though he's in a very dangerous line of work, even though he does some very violent things, I like the fact that he still has this very strange sense of moral code. He's the kind of guy that will literally stop to help feed a puppy on the street or help a kid find his lost cards for his playing card game. Or if somebody's getting mugged, he'll step in and save them. Or if there's scammers and stuff, he'll actually step in and try and beat up and save people for what he sees as the greater good. But at the beginning of Kiwami, it starts out in the 90s. And essentially, somebody does something very bad. A boss in the Yakuza gets murdered and your friend pulled the trigger. Now, not wanting your buddy to go to prison, because it feels like did it for a very good reason, Kiryu takes the fall. At the beginning of the game, Kiryu Kazuma goes to prison for a decade. And you play through that. There's actually sections of the game, a whole chapter in prison, just trying to essentially stoically survive this impossible, penance. But when he gets out, this is where the real challenge begins, because Kiryu, he has to adapt. He has to learn about this world that now he's been gone for a decade. Which of his friends are still around? Which of the old Yakuza families still exist? He has to learn the new hierarchies, the new balance. But as soon as he gets out, he gets mixed up in an even worse circumstance. A suitcase with 10 billion yen has mysteriously gone missing. And it's a giant conspiracy as to who did it, why. And Kiryu ends up very much in the middle of it, trying to sort through all of it, essentially for a two-part reason. One, to find his old connections, and really to get back into the Yakuza life, to get back into this thing and sort of say, hey, I'm still here to show up as the Dragon of Dojima. Now, what makes this game so incredibly fun, beyond just the really cool story, I really love this universe so much, I like the city it takes place in, and how Kamurocho, a lot of the Yakuza games all take place in the same city, and I love this about it because you always get a slightly different flavoring of it, different side quests, different characters, different mini games, which I want to talk about in a minute. It's part of the reason I love it on Nintendo Switch 2, but I really do appreciate the fact that as you explore these streets, you get a chance to really just enjoy that combat and the gameplay of it. Kiryu is a badass. I mean, straight up. But what's really cool in Kiwami is that he has 4 separate fighting stances. Now, when you're battling people, there are some pretty cool combat techniques. You can grab items off the ground. You can do what are called heat attacks. You essentially have this special meter. If you drag somebody up to a car door, you can slam their head in a car door, beat their head in with a traffic cone. If you build up enough heat, the takedowns, the animations are hysterical. But what's extra cool about it is that Kiryu isn't just about trying to, press, punch, and kick. He has 4 separate fighting styles. He's got the brawler stance, which is sort of like your all-around mixed. It's very even and balanced. I think it's the one that's it's the one I probably use the most by far. Next up, of course, is the legendary dragon stance. If you want to just burn your heat meter, dragon is essentially the one that costs a lot of your stuff most passively, but it's very good for just raw burst. Rush, which is basically like your more quick attacks. A lot of these are smaller, quicker attacks, but if there's an enemy that's like blocking a lot, it's nice to sort of switch to Rush and go up there and just like basically try to break their guard. And then finally, Beast. This is sort of the overpowered bigger mode. Now, when you're in Beast stance, I almost think this is best for like the grapple attacks and stuff. But what's cool is that you can just switch between these easily by pressing this up, down, left, right. Like literally you can switch the stances instantaneously. And I like the fact that not only does it feel nice and fluid, there are separate talent trees that let you level up those different stances to get extra abilities, extra grapple damage, more resistance to like bladed attacks and stuff. But I think what I like the most about the combat in the Yakuza is that it cracks me up that there will be fights in the most random places, at the top of $1 million hotel or in a like DJ dance room, literally on the floor of a club. You're getting in street fights and stuff, and people are busting out knives and you're taking them and stabbing them with them and stuff. I like the fact that Kiwami is so ridiculous. While the story is dark and serious and so intense and so epic, I like the fact that when you go to the side quests, then you're dealing with the most outlandish, crazy, impossible circumstances. There is this beautiful yin and yang that feels like it's a thing that only Yakuza does right, and it's still the best when it comes to Kiwami and Kiwami 2. But the other reason I really wanted to play this, especially on the Nintendo Switch 2, is the minigames. I've always said this. If you've ever watched any of my Yakuza videos, I've always said the very best part of the entire Yakuza series is the tons and tons of side content. Because this is essentially a simulation of Japan, you can actually run around the streets, not only getting in fights, not only helping people out, but walk into random buildings, go and get food, hit a convenience store, get upgraded items, or most importantly, you can hit the arcade and start playing crate games. You can go bowling, you can play billiards, you can play darts, you can do all sorts of silly stuff, batting cages and stuff. And honestly, I like the fact that now, portably, it honestly feels so great to just be able to go and do all those side activities, which are so freaking addictive. It's cool to get a chance to play them in a handheld version. What I've always loved the most about Yakuza Kiwami, playing it through it again and again and again, I just like that the world feels so realized. Every collectible, every hidden item, one of the main collectibles are these things called the locker keys. It's cool that you can go out and find all this extra stuff, and it feels even more natural just playing it handheld. It's like even now, literally, as I'm filming this, I accidentally started another side quest. I like the fact that every square inch of this game is just so jam-packed with fun, cool discoveries, especially because one of the things they added specifically to Kiwami 1 that cracks me up is a system called Majima everywhere. So there's a guy in the Yakuza games called Goro Majima. He's a very psychopathic guy who's one of the heads of the other families and stuff, and he has an obsession with just trying to fight Kiryu. And in Kiwami 1, he keeps showing up. This Majima, you'll literally be getting stopped by a cop, and it turns out it's Majima. Or at one point, literally while I was playing this on the treadmill yesterday, I was in a photo booth, and Majima appeared in the back of the photo booth. I'm literally just taking like silly Japanese selfies, and he literally showed up in the back of it. Like I'm in this Japanese photo booth, downtown Japan. Randomly, Goro Majima starts appearing in the back of them, like a ghost appearing in a photograph. I like how goofy and random it is. This world just feels so freaking realized. I love having Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2 now on this. This is fantastic. Straight up going from literally Yakuza 0 Director's Cut to Kiwami 1 to Kiwami 2, and now we're about to have Yakami 3. Like, the fact that Kiwami 3 is coming out here in, like, literally 2 months, it's great. It's perfect. I'm definitely going to 100% both these and to be perfectly ready for the third game as it drops. But if you like this, if it looks great, definitely check it out. It's now on the eShop. Anybody who's played Yakuza, you know how fantastic these are. But seriously, as a Yakuza fan, playing it now on the Switch 2, better than it's ever been, 100%. Thanks for watching. If you could, please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. I just think it's so funny. Literally, oh yes, this is the Pocket Circuit quest line. You can actually like race these little mini cars. Oh my gosh, I cannot get enough of this. I love the Yakuza Kiwami games so freaking much, man.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.